So there is a lot going on with this drama. I will try to provide the essentials because there are a lot of names and I will try to keep to the basics. So essentially, SK and Southpaw for a while were allies and they were very critical of Mauler, Fringy, and the EFAP for many good reasons, but also some bad reasons. Now, I'm on record, I don't think the EFAP are very good people. They're usually very toxic, and even when they do good media analyses, it's not that impressive. So I generally think the EFAP people are pretty toxic, stupid, racist, neo Nazi morons. However, just because you're critical of them doesn't make you a bunch of heroes. However, I do think overall Southpaw and SK had some pretty strong criticisms of EFAP. They weren't always negative either, they sometimes agreed with them, but for the most part, I thought their analyses were correct. And Southpaw had a more personal issue with Mauler and Fringy, and he proved this very thoroughly in his 6 hour video. So, you have any doubts if Mauler or Fringy are liars, he proved it really substantively in that video. However, SK and Southpaw more recently had a falling out, and SK, being SK, of course, decided to try to character assassinate Southpaw because, reasons. And Southpaw was not too happy about that. And they went back and forth on Twitter. And allegedly, SK had a lot of great evidence in a doc, and he and Jeb of ECUM shared the doc, and the doc was meant to destroy Southpaw, but it really didn't do that. So, of course, Southpaw had to respond sooner or later, and he has. And I've looked over at least a lot of the document. I'll keep looking over more of it, but it is pretty devastating. No, I can't claim to be totally impartial here because I do think Southpaw has proven his case against Mauler, and with this transphobia thing, it was pretty dumb. Basically, and I saw this live on Twitter, Southpaw just said, well, I'm not really into trans people. Namely, he's not sexually attracted to the trans. And SK and Jeb jumped all over this and said, there you go. He's revealed himself as transphobics. No, just having a preference for a certain group does not make you phobic of anything. But anyway, so yeah, just their reasoning and logic and evidence is pretty lame and stupid. And of course, in their own private messages and on Discord, they say many questionable, racist, homophobic, and yes, transphobic things, but it's okay because when they do it, it's fine. And SK especially just has this issue whenever he's challenged, he will pull this card saying, well, I'm beautiful in black. Right, SK. I got it. And also, I'm a beautiful black gay ally and I love my trans. Got it, SK. I don't care. I don't care. And also, it's not true. Apparently, he's very selective about being pro gay and pro trans. He will be pro gay and pro trans, but it depends on several other issues. So, yeah, it just seems like a lot of hypocrisy. Now, that said, I don't want to clear Southpaw of all charges. I'm very critical of his approach to the media as well as other issues. But I want to be fair to all sides. Madvocate, who is also one of their former allies, was confronted on this, and Madvocate was like, okay, fine, what is the evidence? So Sky, Jeb, and SK tried to convince Madvocate of the transphobia charge, and Madvocate looked at what they had and was like, there's nothing here. This just seems like a lot of nothing. It doesn't seem like you really have anything here. So if you look at this more from a bigger angle, it seems like a very minor internet issue. No, I think something deeper is at play. You made a very serious accusation of phobia. There doesn't seem to be any weight to it, so they're just pulling a McCarthy. There just isn't enough to convict him on the transphobia or whatever. And by the way, I want to be clear on these issues. More and more, I'm just becoming very neutral and conservative. I just don't care. If you want to be a super gay, trans, whatever, you do you, boo boo. If you're obsessed with getting rid of the trans, J.K. Rowling, oh my God, they're threatening everything. You do you, boo boo. I just don't care about this issue. So even if, apparently SK doesn't know how logic works, even if Southpaw was, quote, anti trans, that does not affect his cogency as a media analyst, you idiot. That does not mean anything, right? Oh, well, he's transphobic. So are you. You're not much better. But even if it were true, it doesn't matter. Who cares? It just seems SK is trying to pull a McCarthy. There's no evidence. Okay, we're just going to invent evidence. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. Clearly, you just have issues with Southpaw. Debate the issues legitimately. Stop trying to do this sneak attack and character assassination based on weak grounds. Is he beautiful and black? Maybe. But is this beautiful black gay ally trans? No. No. SK is putting out a very false image. Jeb is putting out a false image. Just a lot of falseness here. Again, if you have something serious, provide serious evidence. They don't have that, so they're just doing a lot of gaslighting and whisper campaigns. And Southpaw is rightly calling it out as being a bunch of BS, which is correct. You can still be critical of Southpaw, but just going for this weirdo, he's transphobic. Well, I really don't care. Let's move on to bigger, better issues.